Welcome to another counselor training, and this training is on coaching, and as a counselor, how to coach your campers versus the do and tell. I'm going to show you a diagram here. In this diagram, you have a little child on the very end, and it's growing toward an adult. And as you can see, way on the outside of the picture is what we call do and tell. And when a child is first born, we do things for them and we tell them what to do, and we are very involved in their life. In fact, we tell the baby, open your mouth, you put the food in. But as they grow older, they work toward independence, where we're no longer doing and telling, but they're learning how to make decisions for themselves. But at the same time, this middle part that's growing is this coaching, where we're coaching them, we're helping them make decisions. And so we're asking questions to help them process and to think through where they're heading in life and their part in that. None of us want to have a 40-year-old who we have to tell to open his mouth while we put food into his mouth. My goal as a parent for my children is to get them to a place as an adult where they're able to make decisions on their own. And at the same time, I would hope that they would value my input and that they would come to me for advice or for help at making decisions and processing what to do next. So that's our first slide. And tension happens between children and their parents as they get older, when the parents want to force the do and tell, and the child is feeling this inward need I need to start making decisions. There's a need and a desire to lead in their life, to make decisions. And when a parent tries to hold the child in the do and tell, there's this tension that happens. There's this resistance that happens. And if a parent continues to force the do and tell, you'll either end up with a very complacent adult who's not making decisions in life and definitely not thriving, or you'll end up with a child who's rejected the parents and left the home because they've left that box, that constriction. And my desire as a parent with my children is to get them to a place where they're making their decisions and they're coming to me to help field questions, to help process, but they're really starting to make decisions for life on their own. All right, so how do we do that? How do we, the do and tell, that's pretty obvious. You notice something's doing something wrong, you tell them not to do it. That's really easy. But how do we move into a coaching mindset? How do we move into a relationship where we can speak into a child's life and they value our input without them either feeling controlled by us or without us just not having any influence at all? So this is from the book called Parent Coaching. This is where we get this model from. Proactive Parent Coaching, and it's written by Gregory Bland. So there's two parts to this life coaching. The first is the relationship side and supporting the relationship through understanding. And then the second side is the kind of more of the coaching side, and it's supporting the relationship through setting goals, kind of those kinds of things. So I want to start off, in order for us to have any input in anyone's life, there has to be a relationship. And the relationship is established through just connecting, just doing things together. As a counselor, it could be anywhere from pulling weeds together to playing basketball together, to doing a lot of different activities. One of the things I really want to encourage you as a counselor is look for those opportunities to do things together. And then on top of that, look for the things that excite your campers. If it's, if you have a camper who loves basketball, go play basketball with them. You're going to become, when you do that, you become that person that they're excited to be with, that they like being with, that they feel comfortable around, because that person enjoys the things that they enjoy. That person does the things that they do. And as you do that, you'll build relationship. The next thing within that is just learning how to ask questions. And you want to learn how to ask what we call open-ended questions. A closed-ended question would be, so do you like basketball? And camper would say either yes or no. End of conversation. But if you say, hey, what do you like about basketball? That's more of an open-ended question. Well, I like that we got to play together as a team, and and it's a fast sport. So you can say, oh yeah, well, hey, tell me some stories about your teammates. How does playing together with your teammates, what's worked really well for you? And then he's going to jump into more of that, and you're drawing it out by asking open-ended questions. If you can avoid the closed-ended questions, it really helps you gain a better understanding. The next thing is just listening. There's going to be times in conversation where a camper says, I don't like my mom or my dad. And you say, oh, well, that's interesting. Tell me about that. What's happened that's caused you to not like your mom? And then be quiet and listen. It's easy as a counselor to want to, I don't like my mom. Well, that's not right. Don't you know that the fifth commandment is honor your mother and father? If you don't like your mom or dad, you're not loving your mother and father, and you're shutting the camper down. Whereas when you say, well, tell me more about that, and let them express, they've opened up just a little window, and when you ask a question, you invite more information, and then you just need to be quiet and listen. Now, in listening, you want to really listen to what they're saying, and you want to avoid jumping to conclusions. It's easy. In the book here, he talks about a college student who's calling home to his pastors. And he says, his pastor, he said, I don't think I can do this college thing. He says, it's just not working. And then he pauses and he says, so what advice would you give? And I hear that one, and my immediate conclusion is, okay, he needs to be encouraged to work harder. He needs to be encouraged not to be a quitter. If you quit now, you're going to set yourself up in life for quitting. What other things do you guys come up with? Just think about it and write it down. Okay. Well, the pastor was smart, and he said, well, tell me about that. What is making you come to the conclusion that you can't do this college thing? And the young man says, well, my girlfriend is going to a different college 200 miles away, and we can't see each other, and it's really difficult having our relationship, this long-distance relationship. And he jumps all into this relational side of things. And, of course, that was nothing of what I was thinking of. And as important as your campers share, I don't like mom. Well, that could mean a lot of different things, right? It could mean I don't like it because mom gets boyfriends and the boyfriends beat on me. It could be, it could be any whole world of things that you don't know unless you ask. And so, saying, well, tell me more about that, or that must be tough. What makes you feel that way? Those open-ended questions really help in gaining a better understanding. And then after they've expressed, and you kind of feel like you've listened, you asked the questions, you've listened to really gain understanding, then you want to clarify. So what I hear you saying is you don't like it when your mom brings boyfriends over because you no longer have her attention and they don't treat you with respect. Is that correct? Yes, that's true. And so you're gaining understanding. And that, of course, this whole process is building relationship. So then later on, they're going to see you as that safe person to talk to. They're going to see you as that person that they enjoy being with and sharing their life with. One of the really important things here is that you suspend judgment. It doesn't mean that later on you don't help them come to a better conclusion about how to respond to life circumstances, but when they're expressing their feelings and their emotions, your first place here is to be curious and to connect, ask the questions, listen, really let them speak, and then clarify. All right, so the next circle is supporting growth, and we've talked about during their devotion times, helping the campers think through to this is what I need to do, this is what I should do, and so during devotion time you might use this model. Also, when a camper expresses frustration with life and where it is, this would be another good model because they're desiring change. In both situations, they're desiring to do something more. It could be just desire. Camper might express, I wish I was better at basketball, okay? And there's a little bit of a desire. And so all these things create opportunities for you then to help a camper go from a desire or a desire to gain something or to stop doing something, to take them from that place to a place where they're actually experiencing success. And that's a really thrilling place to be. For a lot of our campers, their world really feels like they're just a pawn and everyone else is making decisions, moving them around, and they don't have any choices. Which is really an unreal picture of life, because in life we really do have choices. And so as a counselor, you want to kind of help the camper visualize and see their options and see their choices. So the first part in the process is exploring possibilities. A camper comes up to you and says, I hate camp. I don't have any friends at camp. And okay, you hear a little bit of a desire. They want friends. Okay, it's kind of a negative thing. I hate camp, right? So you're going to say, hey, would you like some help in exploring possibilities about how you can make some friends at camp? So you're asking permission, okay, because you're going to give input in their lives. You want to make sure you ask permission. So the camper's going to say, yeah, sure, or not right now. And if they say not right now, and you say, okay, I'm all right with that, that's really good because you're respecting their boundary. You're respecting them as an individual. And of course, then the camper has to pause and think, okay, so if I don't get any input from my counselor about my friend problem, I get to leave without any friends. Okay, maybe I do want to talk, right? And you being okay with, no, okay, that's fine. Let me know when you want to talk. And maybe later on you can come back and say, hey, earlier we talked about talking about your friend situation. Do you want to talk about some options now? And maybe they'll say yes. But again, you want to respect their boundaries. So camper says, yeah, I would like some help with that. You say, well, what kinds of things could you do? What are some ideas about how you could find friends? And we'll just throw a whole bunch of ideas out there. I have an idea. What if you buy everyone at camp a candy bar? Then you'd have a lot of friends. Well, yeah, that's funny, but no, I don't have enough money to store to buy candy bars. Okay. Well, what other things could you do? Well, I could ask somebody if he wants to play basketball with me. Okay, good. I could ask so and so if they want to play carpet ball with me. Okay, that's good. I could help somebody. I could find a way to help someone. Okay, that's good. So at this point, you're just exploring possibilities. There aren't any bad ideas, right? You just want to get a lot of them. That's kind of the goal there. And then the next part is you're going to look for desire. Which one? And really, all you need to say is, so of all these ideas, which one do you think is the most exciting for you? And Cam might say, well, I really like basketball, and I think I'd like to do the basketball one. All right, so now he's latched onto the basketball idea, And so he has the desire, and you've kind of explored the ideas. He has the desire. Now you want to secure to commitment. And that's where you say, when are you going to do this? Who are you going to ask? If that fails, who are you going to ask second, or who are you going to ask third? And so that gives him that momentum of, this is what I'm going to do. It also helps you kind of nail down so that you can ask him, did you do it? And so that's the next phase. And then the last phase, after free time, after he's went and asked his fellow camper, and he's down here, you might want to ask, how'd that go? Did you guys play basketball? Yeah. Did it feel like you were making a friendship? Yeah, but, we didn't talk much. We just kind of played the game, and we were really, I was trying to beat him, he was trying to beat me, and it didn't really feel like a friendship. So then you say, and then you can kind of explore that. Well, tell me more about that. Tell me more. And so you're going to be asking questions to gain understanding, and then you're ready to go back around. He still has desire. You kind of explore that desire. Okay, so we're going to go back to here with, so what can we do now? Maybe he said, well, I'm going to see if I can sit next to him at lunch, because we kind of already did something together, and you got to come up with some more ideas, and you can go around again. Now, part of what you're doing here too is you're supporting his effort, where you're saying, hey, great job. You're helping him celebrate his success. Hey, you played the game, you set the goal, you did it, you played the game, the success. And sometimes maybe it doesn't feel like a whole lot of success. I asked 3 people, nobody wanted to play basketball with me, right? But you can say, you know what? You asked 3 people to be your friend, to play a game with you. That's a lot of courage. That's a great progress. Who's the next 3 you can ask? Okay, but you can kind of celebrate. Even in the loss, there's things that you can celebrate. What can we learn from that? Well, it's probably a bad idea to ask people to play basketball right at pool time because they all wanted to get in the pool. Okay, well, maybe it wasn't that they didn't want to be your friend. It's just that they wanted to go swimming in the pool. But you're kind of learning from the experience, learning from the loss, and then you can go back to, let's explore some ideas. What can we do differently? And what this is doing for our campers is this is giving them a picture of a world where they have choices. They're not a victim. They're not stuck. That if they don't like the way things are in their life, there's things that they can do to help things progress. There's decisions that they can make. All right, so this is your opportunity now. I want you to get together with somebody else, and you're going to go through the goal setting. You're going to go through, preferably a young person, all right? But you can even just do this with your roommate or something like that. But I want you to explore what is something you don't like, and then ask permission. Hey, would you like to talk about that? Then you want to explore the options. Okay, then you want to look for the desire, set the goal, and then check on progress. And as you can see, this is very much what we're doing in our devotion time. We're talking about what Jesus taught us to do. Okay, then we're talking about possibilities. Okay, finding something that the camper latches onto with loving their neighbor or something like that. Okay, they're going to find one. Then you're going to secure the commitment. When are you going to do this? How are you going to do this? Okay, and then the next devotion time, you're going to say, how did that go? And we're this exact same model we're doing with our campers. And then, of course, all along the way, we want to be continually building those relationships, doing the things together, so that it's not all about, all right, now I'm going to talk about your goals again. I'm going to talk about your goals again. But there's also just that relationship, that being together, that enjoying being together. All right, very good.